Hello, welcome to week 6 training video. These are from games played June 9th, 2018. Have 15 plays here and going to keep it at about 15 minutes or so. We have a quick review of the targeting rule for clarification. As always, this video is not intended to demean, belittle, or embarrass, show up any players, coaches, officials, or anybody on the video. Strictly for educational purposes for officials, coaches, and players. Before we begin, let's do a quick review of the rule of targeting in Chapter 9, or Rule 9 in the rule book. Targeting has two elements, or two portions. There's Rule 9.1.3 and 9.1.4. In a second here, we're going to see an example of 9.1.3, which is forcible contact against an opponent using the crown of the helmet. The crown of the helmet begins where the face mask ends and the opening closes and where it meets the helmet, all the way up to the very top of the helmet. So it's not just the very top, it is where the face mask begins. If you initiate forcible contact to an opponent anywhere on their body with the crown of your helmet, that is a foul for targeting. One of the indicators, but are not limited to, would be a launch, a crouch, leading with the helmet, shoulder, forearm, fist, hand, elbow, or attack with forcible contact to the head or neck area, or lowering the head before attacking. Again, 9.1.3, crown of the helmet, anywhere with forcible contact. Again, it needs to be forcible with intent to punish. With the crown of the helmet, that is targeting. Okay, a quick review here of 9.1.4, which is actually the second part of it, and there are two ways. So you don't have to have both of these to make a foul. It is possible to have both of them within the same penalty, but it is not required. The second way to have targeting would be 9.1.4, which is forcible contact to the head or neck area of a defenseless opponent. There's a whole list of what falls under the category of defenseless opponent. Again, it needs to be forcible contact to a defenseless opponent in the head or neck area. This does not require the crown of the helmet. Does not have to be, you do not have to use the crown of the helmet. It could be a forearm. It could be any other part of your body. If they're defenseless and you hit them in the head or neck area with forcible contact, again, keep that word in mind, forcible contact. This is a big boy sport, and sometimes there is going to be contact. Helmets may touch. If it's not intent to punish or aim to punish, and it's not forcible, that would not meet the criteria. The only portion, or the only list on here for the defenseless player that is not missing or not included is on the next page. It would also be a quarterback in a sliding posture, and that was added in 2017. So I encourage everyone to review the targeting rule under Rule 9.1.3 and 9.1.4. We're about to see an example of Rule 9.1.4, forcible contact with the crown of the helmet. Okay, here we go. Just let it play out, kind of speaks for itself. See, the crown of the helmet hits him directly in the face mask. Pretty easy call if you ask me. I could sound that to 100 people and probably get 100 of 100 out of it. It may, whether it was intended or not, we don't look at intent on targeting. Here he clearly gets him square in the face mask with the crown of his helmet. It doesn't get any bigger than that, gentlemen. And we do get this, thankfully. The crew handles it appropriately. Often when there's a targeting, we see 2 or 3 fouls. I would have liked to have had another one, but that is not required. What's important is we get a flag down. They went through the proper discussion, and this crew does a very, very good job in taking their time, because when you're going to remove a player, we do want to make sure what we have is targeting. So play is over, and you see field judge coming in here. The only thing I would like is maybe come in with a little bit more urgency, but if you're talking to the ref here, go ahead and stay. We're about to eject a player, so we may have to have a discussion. And I do like how they move away from the players. I would have liked to have had that sooner. Let's not make the white hat have to go under the line there. But now once we have the discussion here, we have 5 of us, and there's really only a couple that are involved. Maybe if the line of scrimmage official, if you have an opinion, that's fine. Back judge, I'm sure you have an opinion as well. I'm not sure umpires listening for the penalty enforcement, but I do see players kind of crouching around, so we should have 2 more officials in there, just keeping the players back while everybody is kind of clearing this up. Umpires getting ready to enforce the penalty now, so again, very good job by this crew to just make sure that they get it right. It took a couple of minutes. We don't have replay, so they wanted to make sure, and they did get it right. So excellent job by the crew. And now we're on to play 2. This is an unnecessary roughness on a pass that's overthrown. This is not targeting. This is not anything other than just a personal foul, unnecessary roughness. He lands in bounds, just the ball is overthrown. It's late enough. He could have let up, and the officials do a good job of getting a flag down. But that's really all that is just an unfortunate late hit. On play 3 here, we've got a blocking below the waist, and there appears to be a little bit of confusion on it as well. So I'll refresh. This year in the CFC, the blocking below the waist rule has gone to the high school rule, which is tackle to tackle. So the 5 interior linemen, tackle, center, tackle, guard, center, guard, tackle. Those 5, and it's on the initial charge at the snap. There can't be a delay. It has to be, if they're going forward, they need to charge forward. It may take a second, but it needs to be forward. They cannot step up or stand up as if they're pass blocking or drop back and then cut. About to see an example of that here. Looks like he's in pass protection, and then he cuts the defensive end. This is a dangerous block. And we do get it. Good job by the referee. You play 4. This is an interesting play. I pulled this up for the line of scrimmage folks mainly. Here we have a guy running a comeback route, and you see he caught the ball beyond the first down, and quite often they're getting driven back, and so we give him that forward progress. In this play, he actually comes back short of the first down, even though he starts to catch it prior to the first down. And so he comes back. So at this point, he is now short of the first down. If he were to be tackled right there, that would be his spot. He does break it. He gets the first down, but just an interesting play to learn from for line of scrimmage officials. Play 5 got a couple things here. First, we have an offensive hold by the center. The umpire gets it. It opens up to the referee as well, so I'm okay with the referee seeing that. That's a pretty big one, so I'm glad we get 2 flags on it. But basically, the center is being driven back a little bit and brings down the nose tackle with him, pulls him on top of him. Second part to the play. Deep officials were in regular mechanics. The ball's being snapped outside the 7-yard line. So the line of scrimmage guy is there at the 15, and the deep officials at the goal line. Remember, hold your water. Wait until that ball is thrown in the end zone, beyond or deep in the corner before you really need to leave that goal line. Because if a run does break free or anything happens with that pylon, that is your responsibility. So we leave a little early, of course. I think we do step up. We're covered here, but just a reminder, deep officials, to go ahead and hold that. Line of scrimmage, go ahead and stop at the 5 if he's going to score. No need to run all the way next to him. Just minor things there, but good call on the hold. Next up is an example of a very close play. We ruled down, and based on everything I see, it does look like the runner's down. Right there, his shoulder is touching. The version for this program to make it big enough is not as clear with some of the video I'm receiving, but it does appear more clear on the actual huddle video. An end zone shot would be nice. Again, everybody, the philosophy is when in doubt, the ball is out. When in doubt, it is a fumble. This is college philosophies and mechanics, not high school. So when in doubt, the ball is out. If you are sure he's down and you see it, then rule him down. Just remember philosophies in case we're not sure. Again, it looks like he's down. What I would like to see here is us look a little more sure of ourselves. Right now, the Nightmare believe they've recovered the ball. We're not quite sure, and as we're coming in, we look a little unsure. So, and it's okay. We're processing the play, thinking about it, but we need to signal, and if we need to talk, that's fine. But let's sell the call. Let's come in with something and look a little bit more sure of ourselves here. Here on play 7 is a runner ruled down, and this is correct judgment by the referee. Remember, a runner is down when anything other than the hand or foot are down on the ground. So if the forearm hits the ground, he is down. Now, with down by contact, obviously he must be touched, and if anything other than the hand or foot, and even then he would be down. I apologize, but if forearm hits and he is untouched, he can get up. In this case, he's knocked down, gets hit, forearm down, right there, ball comes out. Excellent job by the referee to rule that dead. On play 8, this is an illegal block in the back by the center. Linebacker's reading the play, and you see he spotted the linebacker. So it's not like they're engaged, and this linebacker turned his back and it was a continued block. This linebacker's still 2.5, 3 yards away. He sees the plays going to the screen out to his left. He's heading out to pursue the tackle, and this center just blasts him in the back. We need to try to pick this up. This is something that the backside could get, possibly even the umpire. We want to get these if we can. All right, play 9 is an example of basically intentional grounding versus progress. Here the quarterback rolls out, and as he is going down, he's actually going down backwards. Kind of unique that he's this close to the ground on his back and throws the ball away. The penalty for intentional grounding is a loss of down at the spot of the foul. So there's really not much difference in the penalty, except in this rare case, he's actually almost flat on his back, which is a good 2 to 3 yard difference when he lets the ball go. If he got knocked back that far, I think we're probably okay to rule progress on this instead of giving them. I mean, they're already losing the yardage. Why make them lose 2 to 3 more yards? In fact, a general philosophy for referees, if they ground the ball and are under duress and get hit, most often they say to add a yard or 2 from the spot where you think it is. You'll almost always be right, because by the time you process it, they've moved a step or 2 back, or they've been driven a step or 2 back. So, but either way, this one would be progress. It's only 2 or 3 yard difference, but those 2 or 3 yards could be the difference between, say, a safety and not. Interesting play. Right now, his progress would be to the 33. Falls back, throws it from the 28. It's a 4 or 5 yard difference, actually. So that'd be something to consider. Rare play like that, but he gets knocked backward like that. Go ahead and rule progress. It's tough if you're not in that position, but if you can, that'd be what we want. This here is a catch fumble. Very hard to tell by this video evidence if he actually catches this or not. Usually something very quick that's bang bang, we want incomplete. Here he clearly, once he catches the ball, he gets 1, 2, 3. What's unclear is if he ever secures that ball or not, or if it's moving. If he's bobbling that at all, if he never secures it, and he takes 5 steps but he's never secured it, and it comes out, that would be incomplete. Evidence doesn't show. The officials on the field are able to see, so that would assume that he secured the ball cleanly and took his 3 steps, which would make this a fumble. Either way, let's get in there and sell this. If it's a fumble, let's get in and sell, pointing the other way. If it's not a fumble and he's ruled down or incomplete, get in and sell the incomplete signal. Play 11 is an example of what we would not want called for hands to the face. Hands to the face needs to be prolonged contact to the head or chin area, driving the head and neck actually back. Just contact to the head or face is not hands to the face. Again, prolonged driving back. If you can say to yourself, hands to the face, hands to the face, hands to the face 3 times, it's a foul. Go in and talk to them, tell them to keep their hands down. But the speed of the game, it's going to look like a lot very fast, and you're going to see on video that it is not anything. So stay away from fouls like this. You definitely would not want anything like that called. Play 12 is an example of kick-catch interference. Pretty easy call here. Ball's not even there yet, and he's already hitting him, making contact. So good job here by the back judge, and also deep wing on that side to get this. And we've got flags in 2 different spots. Video doesn't show, but I'm confident that you guys got your flags together, because this is one where we would want our flags on the correct spot, since it's a spot foul, 15 yards from the spot of the foul. Good job getting this one, guys. Play 13 is an offensive hold at the point of attack by the receiver. This is missed, but this is at the point of attack, something that I would like to see called. But if you're not sure, stay away from these. But these ones out in front, typically the line of scrimmage or the deep wings, and these are the holds that you guys should be getting. Not worried about the interior so much where the referee and umpire are. But you can see the restriction, and then takes his feet away. And amazingly, the guy still makes the tackle. So some might say, well, he made the tackle, so why call the hold? Well, the hold begins at the 42-yard line, 41 to 42. And he tackles him near field. So if you go back from the 42, it's at the 32. So there's 18 yards difference if you call the penalty. So we definitely want to get those at the point of attack out in front. Not just a stretch of a jersey. Look for the 2 verbs, hook and turn, twist and pull, grab and restrict. Here, when you see the feet taken away and the defender is trying to move and cannot get away, that's when the antenna should go up. This here is a hold that starts with these 2 engaged here. This is what we call a marginal call. I can see why it's called. A lot of people see a jersey stretch, so they'll scream, hold, hold, and why aren't you calling the holding? Well, if we call stuff like this, we'll have 30 holding penalties a game. We need to have good technique by the offensive lineman. It makes it a lot easier for us, but if they do have bad technique or they get beat, they attempt to hold does not necessarily make it a hold. So yeah, here by the letter of the law, he does stretch the jersey possibly, but he does not take his feet away or really restrict him. As you see here, the guy just turns and pursues him. The reason he is behind him is because he had turned in and he read the play wrong, so he makes up for it. He's trying to make up for it here. Not really a stretch, quick, blink of an eye, something that fast. Offensive holding are usually longer than that. Something that fast, stay away from. We do have a forward fumble out of bounds. We have a beanbag down by the line judge. Good job. Remember, a forward fumble out of bounds goes back to the spot of the fumble. All right, last play of the video and a new segment that I'm going to add every week for the official call of the week. This could be a ruling, a judgment, a penalty, or a no call, a correct no call, any of those. So just going to have a little bit of fun, but this is a very good job. After the video a couple days ago, this is complete opposite, and they didn't have a chance to watch the video for last weekend, so it just tells me they're working hard, and good job here. Here we've got 2-on-1, and when we have two defenders on one, we want to go ahead and shut this down once progress is stopped. If he's still driving him forward, then that's fine. But once progress is stopped, two or more, shut it down, because we don't want any cheap turnovers. Sure enough, we get the ball stripped out. Here comes our line judge pointing him down. Everybody stops because he's clearly blowing his whistle. Excellent job. Don't come in looking hesitant. Make a decision. If you're wrong, be wrong strong, and we'll deal with it. Most of the time, you're going to be right if you go with your gut instinct. Be confident and come in and sell it. Excellent job here. Everybody, I want to thank you for all your hard work. We're more than halfway through the season now, and I would like to challenge everybody to get better. We always want to get better, no matter how good we're doing. Let's continue to work hard. Let's continue to push. Review the differences in rules, the modified rules, video, and anything you could do to get better. Good luck to the teams, coaches, and owners playing this weekend.